Oh, yeah, it would help if my mic wasn't muted, wouldn't it? Derp. Smile. No. How is that not a TK horse? I don't get jumped, so I wasn't too slow. I literally did every input correctly. How do I not get TK horse there? What's going on? No, I didn't. I'm saying I didn't. I didn't have that happen to me. I wasn't too slow for the Suki cancel. Just like the input just didn't come out. It's like that's what I expect when I do it wrong. Because I'm just too slow on the medium game. Oh, right, I need to change that. I'm going this route. What did I change for that? I think I just picked up straight with that. If I do it this way. Gross. Yep, there we go. I mean, that's not the route I wanted. This is match practical for a tournament. You just have to neutral jump. Oh. So this doing neutral jump gets the timing a lot nicer. Notice how much less time I have if I up forward for it. And they're also how much further away they are. I say, I messed it up. But beyond that, besides the yeah, and if if I'm aware enough for my stage positioning that like I'm close enough, that's when I am usually either doing like that or that, depending on spacing. Speaking of, I need to practice this part because I keep dropping it on half-bird days. actually finally starting to try and just implement lowered air dash because I'm getting sick and tired of whiffing on Bella randomly as part of her breathing cycle. Why am I more consistent at TK Force mid-screen than I am in the corner, by the way? Why is that a thing? Oops. Why did that use OTG? I'm not in the corner. No, I don't want to do that. I want to do this. Because I want to do this. I genuinely don't think I can actually TOD for 3 bar with this team, which is unfortunate. Why does my assist... What? Why did that count as a new string for the assist? Also, I should... remind people. So, Chloe, Natty, Robo, and Jerboa. Robo, you're already here, so... Stage 5 feature smile. Jerboa, Chloe, at Natty Boy. Oh, from a heavy counter hit? Probably. But I genuinely thought this would actually deal more damage than it does. Nah, can I get my... Because, like, this is a good... Oh my god, I actually kept Big Bang too high, that's insane. This is a lot of damage for a starter. It's just like, I feel like I should get a TOD from here, but it's just the damage isn't quite there. Yeah. Again, it was just like, I really felt like Eliza front load in the corner would be enough for that. Is it even more damage than if I just do... Oh my god, please! Well, it'll be more damage afterwards because of scaling. But like, just doing this. Halibo. Very specifically, the only reason I'm doing 5 heavy punches to maintain OTG so I can get a combo after Dynamo in the corner. I know I'm supposed to do heavy kick first. But in this specific string, I need OTG if I want to keep a combo after DHC. Is it still more damage? Do you not just lose on scaling? Or like, lose out on damage? Oh my god, can I stop using OTG here? What am I? I'm struggling to keep this consistent. Struggling. There we go. Okay, so you said... Why is my brain not comprehending this? Nope. I don't know why that was such a struggle. I don't know how much you do here, but I'll just check the damage. Okay. Yeah, no, if this is like a counter hit off of a burst bait, I'm pretty sure they're just dead for free. Force counter hit. Because it can even be... Probably still that's just better. How did I... Oh, what? Okay, I can't still do it at that spacing. Because I'd actually be like here for a burst bait. But then do I have to OTG for that? Yeah, I do. Okay. I don't know. I'm not bothered. I don't know what I'm doing. I can barely hit TK horse anymore, apparently. Okay, yeah. I'm not crazy. Okay. Force a counter hit still. Move fast. Okay, that's good to know. Game. Brain, please. That's not stand-up punch. So the only person who isn't here is Naughty Boy. Let's see if they show up on a kingdom. Bunk. That's too tall. Hello! Do I really have to... Okay, I can delay the jump light punch for a bit. There we go. And too early. Kind of. I really should keep them lower on the ground, I guess. What's the easiest way to do that? Is it delay after the light punch? Oh, that keeps them so far away. That gets me really tall. Am I just supposed to do one as fast as possible? It feels so like it's asking for trouble. That works. Okay. I understand. Do as fast as possible. And I got overcharge. Yeah, there it is. Hate that. Oh, hello, assist. This is a 5-frame one. Should not be that hard for me. Why is my execution so bad? Too early. Didn't know which under I wanted to do because I wasn't close enough to the corner. Just keep it simple. Too much delay. Pop, pop, pop. Pop, 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 pop. Pop, 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 pop. Really? A little bit too much delay, I guess. I dropped the run stop. Interesting. That was almost too low. Too early. Too slow. I didn't hold it down for long enough. Bella inputs. Okay. Still not dropping in the base again. I like this team. I hate how bad I am with this team. I've been playing it as my main team for like 3-ish months now at this point. Copter's stupid. I'm just bad at anyone who isn't Parasol. And then my Parasol dies really early. What am I doing? I'm so bad at this. There we go. Yeah, that doesn't really work in the corner, at least on you. No, I am bad at the team. Just objectively. Ballot inputs. Too slow. What am I doing? Okay, let's try, and then we get started. And too early! Well, I said last try. I almost all the third. Okay. So, as I'm getting stuff set up, welcome to Get Great. A little educational stream. We match you up with someone hopefully around your skill level. We'll spectate, give you both advice on what we see, habits to fix, just minor tidbits to kind of focus on, and just general things to improve while you're focusing and practicing over the next couple of weeks. So, welcome one, welcome all. We'll get our first match in here in just a sec. We got Natty Boy and Cotton Chloe, I believe. Yeah. And this will be beginners. Oh, we have not been cleaning the pins. We have not been cleaning the pins. Oh my, oh my, oh my. Okay, there we go. Alright, y'all are good to go. And reminder, 5 games total. Regardless, win, lose, no, don't care about the score. Just run 5 total games. Yeah, I think Oxygen would probably be better for Jerboa. I think. Have you played them? Tell me if you think that would be a reasonable thing. For whatever reason, I'm doubting myself now after I say that. Kind of jockeying for space, getting a feel for our buttons. Push block baited. We got a full route. No, we already used that button. Yes, highly recommend muting it. Oh, missed time there. You gotta delay that a little bit more, but I think you're expecting them to be blocking. Yeah, you don't got bullets. That's one of the biggest things for Dahlia. It's hard to always keep track, but you gotta start kind of not just like always looking, but you will eventually start getting a snap for health. Fair enough. start getting a feel for when she does and doesn't have bullets. Oh, mix, mashing. And so, I'm gonna say it right now off rip. I know it's not the most fun advice, but Chloe, definitely noticing the routes need a little bit of ironing out. But I will try not to say much more on that, at least until I do the wrap-ups at the end, because we both know how to fix that, and that's just a little bit of time spent in the training mode. I get it, trust me, I hate labbing too, so... she can Zillow, but that's not really what I'm totally worried about for intermediate level. It's like or for beginner level specifically. I think that's a lot of stuff to add on to just kind of focusing on fundamental basics. It's my philosophy anyway. Oh, dash in, hit, corner-carry, airball, air dash, snap. Oh, especially with Filia, because your routes are so inconsistent, and you have to do so much to keep people stable. I would snap the second you hit the medium kick, and not 2 medium kick. I think 5 medium kick probably ends up working a little better there. But you're still in a very good spot. You got a ton of damage on the assist. You can afford to play a bit more aggressively, but getting tagged by stray hits. Patience, staying in. Alright, how does the battle fight back? Down low? Oh, that's a really good delay. Oh, you can super net. It's hard, don't get me wrong. But you can react to them pressing into your armor and the super to get a combo afterwards. It's really good, a heavy punch. It's really good anti-air. Those are some really good tool case fighting for space. Do be careful because Filia can go over them, but if you're expecting a ground approach, I like a lot of what I'm seeing. One thing I will say overall, Chloe, is I like you understand the spacing of your buttons. I think your game plan would help be aided a lot with more jump heavy kick when you're out of spacing to do it. But I like a lot of the ranges you're pressing, all the buttons you are pressing. Good overhead. Do you kill? Oh, that combo you did. You still do. But I'm liking a lot of what I'm seeing. The routes are getting more consistent, Chloe. I will say both of y'all, if you're not already intermediate, you are definitely borderline intermediate. A couple things can get ironed out. I think just combo consistency and a little bit more mix. But like, you're definitely there. You're definitely getting there. So could be something to start thinking about. And in that regard, I think I am going to start sprinkling in a little bit more like technical advice when and where I see it, because you'll have a good understanding of very basic neutral, basic defense. Natty Boy, one thing I will say, you are putting yourself at a lot of risk by not push blocking. You're kind of playing this like a... oh, controller, no. You're kind of playing this more like a frame data fighter, or I don't know how to... In my head, I just think of Guilty Gear Arxis game. You're omitting push block and then fighting. Oh, we're back. But because of how this game works, not push blocking and then pressing is a dangerous default habit. There's a time and a place for it, 100%. It is a really good defensive tool, but again, by default, it gets a little scary. Oh, we're trading. Oh, close. Spend 2. Ooh, stop blocking. Good 6 HP. Yeah, just get a little bit of damage. Personally, with that damage not mattering all that much, I think I would have rather you took the knockdown and actually just dashed after them. That is an option. If you don't think the damage is going to get you closer to any breakpoints, you can just tumble run after them and get a lot closer for Oki. Yeah, strike throw, I guess, would be a different way of thinking about it. But it's just like, you're trying to play defense in a game, like the game isn't built around push block, as opposed to it's built around something like a IB. Or undernight is... Stagger pressure offense is kind of what I'm talking about, where it's like, you're trying to poke holes in offense like that, but this game's offense... that's not inherently all the offense is, and it tends to be, more often than not, there's not going to be gaps, or it's just naturally going to frame trap you, because of how magic, series, and special cancels and all that work. Especially with the Skullgirls as well. And, Natty Boy, for the record, if your 5 heavy punches blocked, you are actually safe on block. I think it's only -4. So you don't have to bail all the way out into a TP. Your heavy punch is safe. It's a good habit to not go into it on block string because you're still giving it your turn, but... Alright, Bella, where's our jump medium punch? There we go. Whoa, trade. Mix. Pff, insane. Good punch. So I would, Chloe, I would not jump there. Again, kind of going a bit more into intermediate thought processes. You jump there, they only need to block overhead. There's nothing you can do to them there. Oh, sent it. Just a little too slow. So if you stay on the ground, you're threatening low throw. So you're actually forcing them to hold mix-up. They have to guess for their character. Whereas if you jump in there, you can definitely get like a safe jump or a really nice spaced meaty option. But because it's a full hop in on Oki, they know they can just stand block. They don't even need to up back. They can just stand block and deal with it. So keep that in mind. Was that 5 games? I thought that was 4. Am I crazy? Okay. Dang. Okay, so, yeah, for Chloe, and it got better throughout the course of the set, but for Chloe, ironing out your combos a little bit more. I know it's not, again, not the most, like, actionable advice. We both know how to fix it. Just spend a little bit more time in training mode when you can. Beyond that, for Dahlia, I would love to see a bit more jump medium kick. Get yourself at a spacing to use jump medium kick more, but I think a lot of the spaces where you're doing up back or super jump up back and then doing, I forget whether that was air M or H shot, oftentimes you could probably throw a jump heavy kick out first before you do that, and kind of just make even more of a wall in the space you're already zoning. Outside of that, A lot of it was just kind of starting to try and pay a little bit more attention to what your opponent is doing. And again, this is kind of starting to eke into intermediate advice because y'all have gotten through a lot of what I was looking for at beginner. Outside of consistency, which will always be a thing to work on no matter what, both of y'all, for the most part, kept yourself safe on block. Natty Boy will get to that when we get to that. You knew ranges you wanted to push good buttons. Had a decent understanding of where you want to start mixing and understanding of your damage values. So it's like, okay, I can't kill here, I will not finish my full combo. And these are like a lot of the things like the checklist we're kind of going through for, okay, once you get through all of these, you're starting to get into a little bit more intermediate. For the Bella, for Chloe, just in general, 5 light kick is really good versus Philia. Her stand light kick is a phenomenal anti-air if you get used to timing it well. Because it also sways her backwards. So Philia tries to hit Bella, and where Bella just was, there's now a massive wall of hitbox. So it's definitely something to play around with. Beyond that, your Bella just felt a little scared, which I can understand. You're playing against a rushdown character, but you did a lot of movement and not a lot of getting a big wall out. And you kind of ran yourself to the corner a bit. But beyond that, I think that's the most of it. And then for Natty Boy, Double Snap was unfortunate. Learning Philia is going to be a lot of learning the ins and outs of when things will just randomly break and thinking ahead to prevent them. So, like Halapel was saying, 2 medium kick and happy birthday routes it's tough. So, like, I would have used 5 medium kick before snap there, and I think it would have worked like chef's kiss for you. And that's kind of just time spent playing the character, time spent labbing the character, understanding which happy birthday scenarios result in which problems, and adjusting accordingly. The biggest thing for you, Natty Boy, I will say is, again, especially if you're ending your block on 5 heavy punch, you do not need to frame trap with DP, or at least remotely as much as you are, because you did it consistently enough that Chloe could just kind of go, I'm just gonna keep blocking. I'm not even gonna even remotely try and take my turn back. And they just watched you die for it on a repeat. Actually, to that point, Chloe, again, now that we're starting to think about intermediate, if someone is doing something like that that has a massive recovery window, so think SSJ, think Car, even if you don't have a heavy counter hit combo, starting with the heavy in your combo will get you a ton more damage, because the first hit in a counter hit combo gives you, I think it's 1.5 times damage. So you're either doing like 150 times 50, so you're getting 225 damage, which is 75%, or not 75%, it's 75 more damage, versus if you do, like for Dahlia, for example, just your launcher, that's probably like 800 or 900 damage. 50% of that added on, you're adding an extra 400, 450 damage to your combo just for nothing. Not even like actually routing for the extra N-Dizzy or anything. So that is a good habit I would highly recommend you start thinking about. If you have enough time to go, oh, I'm gonna kill them, do that. Just like press a medium or a heavy, preferably a heavy, but at the very least press a medium, and kind of get that little bit of extra damage. Especially because on Dahlia, like your light kick, I saw you punish with it a couple of times, and that increases your scaling because it's a multi-hit, so it's kind of twofold. So it would do you a lot of good to, again, press a medium or heavy if you know you're going to get that hit. But yes, okay, sorry. Back to Natty Boy. So yeah, that kind of got to go. It's tough. Sprinkle it in occasionally, especially as a solo. It's like sometimes you just do it, but I mean, you said you know. Yeah, you know. I don't gotta belabor that point anymore. It's weird because there's lock and load, so you kind of don't want to stay on the ground. But I do wish I saw a little bit more dash dancing, ground mobility, as opposed to just fully staying in the air. Because Philia's bread and butter is just her movement, and so if you limit yourself to only part of her movement, it becomes a lot easier to go, okay, I'm just gonna up back here. If they only have to worry about the overhead or the cross up back kind of nullifies both of those. And if you start representing just like dash dash 2 medium kick and you snipe someone's legs, Philia just like murders people. That's when she becomes a canoper. It's because you just need to constantly represent every single option. Otherwise, you're not actually threatening. The same way I was kind of yelling at Chloe for you don't jump for Oki there. It's the same thing for you where if you enter the air, there's only one place you can go. And up back becomes a really good opportunity because they kind of nullify a lot of your options. Yeah, and then I think I already said it a little bit. The omit push block and press you, especially your mash button was 2 medium kick, which I understand will low profile some stuff, so there's merit to it. But I would like to see you push block more and press less in those specific situations. Not always. Again, it's a good tool to have and to use. But so also I'd try mashing light kick a bit more. That's a pretty good mash out of pressure button. 5 light kick kind of reaches decently far. Again, 2 medium kick if you're trying to call someone out and low profile it, perfectly fine option. But it's a little bit slower, so sometimes you might want a little bit of a faster button. But yeah, so it's... I think those are the biggest things for the 2AUs. And for the record, if either of y'all have questions, please feel free to ask in chat now, or if you watch this back later and you're like, you don't make any sense, please ask me to clarify, or if something happened in the background while I was talking about something else, shoot me a ping, preferably with a timestamp, and just ask in the server, and I will get to it when I can. Everyone here knows I'm a broken record, but this is a learning resource. This is a teaching tool. If I'm not helping you learn, kind of wasting both of our time. So help me help you. If there's anything I can do to clarify or answer other questions, just ask. I will not be offended. All right. So that being said, I think we've got Robo versus an open lobby. John Robo. All right. Any beginner to partially middling intermediate players wanting an open lobby? Because I know we've already got Jerboa versus Oxygen. Xion? Xion, you want at games? I think this would be good for you. Perhaps. Let me get my sticks. Alright. No. We've already got Oxygen to kill Jerboa. They get a break from the Taterade belt for now. Let you have a day off. Or we just choose violence. We can't. Alright, and y'all are good to ready up whenever, by the way. Tater should murder me. Alright. Alright, what do we got? Oh, your dome. Counter call. The Annie is going in. I assume that's a DP assist call. Unfortunately, I got stuffed. You were kind of relying on that. A lot of Philly 2 LP, interestingly enough. Okay, we gotta push block more and earlier. That's gonna be a... It's gonna be a struggle. I think that's one thing I'm noticing very quickly. Call, yep, counter call. Oh, if you were just a little bit earlier, that would have been a really good lock and load call. Mix. Love to see it. Oh, Shion, it's not gonna break the armor there. Alright, y'all both have so much meter. Y'all both have so much meter. Kill. Kill, 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 kill. In this situation, don't even do the full combo. In this situation, once you know the meter's gonna, like, meter spend is gonna kill, I would just spend the meter. If y'all are unaware, if you start a combo while their Undizzy is full, it immediately scales them to, I think, 50%. It definitely forces scaling. So, if you have that much meter, excess meter to just spend, it's usually, oh, Shion, no, you dashed. You can't dash that fast. Both of y'all, as, I almost said Ruby players, Bella players. Shion, if you push block that early, you threaten a PBGC and you force them to get a little bit less chip on you. Good jump, medium punch, breaking the armor. Overall, just a really good jump in general. Murder. Dynamo. Voila. Yeah, the fun thing is y'all get a lot of, like, advice that's applicable to both of y'all because you're playing Annie lock and load. It's just Robo has a Philly up front, so can steal each other's notes. Oh. Robo, you do press on mix. You're kind of getting away with it because Shion's mix isn't tight. But it's scaring me. It's a scary habit. DP assist. Oh, if you've got those wave dashes down, that's a happy birthday. Shion, I understand you wanted Stinger. I'm sorry. We're teching back into the corner autopilot. Shion, keep an eye on that. On block, by the way, Shion, you're almost never using H spiral, H crescent anymore. It's almost always L or M. After the Annie changes. Oh, big jump in. Good defense. Good double jump. Ah, button got 8. Oh, we're swinging at air. Shion waiting a little and see. Bum, bum. Oh, you already used that. Are we a knower? Do we know about Chip? Yep. Shion, your one chance at living there is Concho. If you can Concho through it, I don't know if you recover in time before Annie just kills you anyway, but Honestly, if you're a psycho, you might be able to contra 360 there, but that's a lot of that. That's I'm Neo. I can see the future line. It's a tough spot to be in for sure. But yeah, Robo, there you kind of just needed to wait for them to start falling down after the level 3 ended, and I think you could just done jab into a full ender string. And, oh, no, we didn't car cancel it fast enough. Oh, 2 HP. Are this supposed to be DP Shion? We got counter hit 3 times in a row. Both y'all as any players, especially in matchups like Filio where they have stubbier buttons. Jump light kick. Whoa, was that supposed to be alpha counter? Do we have this? I don't even remember what Annie's mid-screen assist card is. But jump light kick as Annie, it's awkward to convert off of, but it is a wall in the air. It is a really good option to use in the game. Oh, you could have gotten that. I think you 5 light kick there to combo. Oh, she on spaghetti inputs. Oh, combos! We gotta believe in her hit confirms. Counter hit. Down low. Meow. Yeah, and once again, meter awareness and meter expenditure, both of y'all can be more aggressive with where and when you spend meter. Either for damage or just mashing. Because once you have 3 bar, you'll have safe DHEs a lot of different ways. But especially for recognizing your damage values, I think a repeat occurrence is y'all not quite understanding how much bar you've built and how dead the character you just hit is. And so we kind of get to the game and both y'all are sitting around 3 to 5 bars. That was a really good multi-hit to break the lock-in rate. Oh no! Shan, I'm not really sure what we're wanting from these inputs, so it's hard to give you feedback because I don't really know what you're going for. Bop, 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 bop. Pillar of Creation. Take the corner, I agree. Neither of y'all on Annie have really represented ground throw. You have, I think, the 4th largest throw in the game. It is a very strong option to represent, especially because you're not really an instant air dash character. Throw is gonna catch a lot of people. Because y'all are kind of just walking up and pressing 2 OK. Or 2... Actually, y'all aren't even using 2 medium kick. 2 medium kick... It's definitely slow, but it's a sniper of a button. Think of it like Squiggly 2 medium kick and how often Squigglies press that button. And yours is even better because yours is disjointed. It might be a little slower, but it'll catch them in pre-block from a mile away. And like you can start representing those options, and then all of a sudden they're like, oh, I'm gonna down back. And that's where you throw them from pretty much your 2 medium kick range because your throw is insane. So I think implementing that into your offense will help a lot for the both of yous. Yeah, I think we're trying to up forward in the wrong spots. They're very consistently kind of putting that button right there to catch you. And so instead of where you're up forwarding, a mash would do a lot of work, or just being patient and push blocking them out again, and then calling your assist as they reaggress. Because you run a armored assist. That helps with that. Okay, there's throw. Love to see it. Pop, 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 pop. Alright, kill. You got plenty of bar here. Nice. Yeah. Okay. So Shion, I think part of it is just a little bit of the rust and a little bit of the still getting back a feel for game sense, because you run you're much more of a lab goober than a game goober, but take a look at how often you kind of just get hit. Not even talking about a lot of the counter hits, which there was too, and I want to talk about that, but how often you just tried to up forward in the wrong spot. And part of the reason it's the wrong spot is you didn't represent another option to discourage them from just having a button on you when your up forward would come out. AKA mashing, stinger, dynamo, the whole shebang. And so it's just getting a bit more of a game feel for when you need to change up the pace, when you need to be contesting, when you need to be patient, when you need to be using movement like up forward. And part of that will just come with time, but part of it you need to recognize, oh, I'm kind of consistently getting hit in these spots. And then as for the counter hits, like, so were the H crescents supposed to be DPs, like PBGC DPs, when you got like PBGC H crescent 2 or 3 times? Because same thing with Bello, like you got PBGC stand heavy kick, which I assume was supposed to be a battle butt. But these are assumptions I'm making, where it's kind of like, I think I see the vision here, but I'm not 100% sure. And if that's the case, I think it's just a bit more of playing more and getting your inputs down consistent. Because it's tough. It happens. Like, I all the time will get like PBGC stand heavy kick as fortune instead of H fiber because I mess up the timing. But I think just playing a bit more games, it'll start feeling more natural. And then beyond that, especially because, and I'll kind of get to this because Tater brought up a good point. When Robo was doing a good job of resetting you in the air, because your characters don't really have great air reversal options, or at least if they do meaty mix, you were kind of just getting caught counter hit flailing a lot. And again, it's one of those things where it's like, okay, I've noticed I get myself counter hit consistently in these situations. Unfortunately, I need to be a patience fan and wait for them to... Because, so the other side to this is if they are doing like a meaty option while in an air vortex, usually that means it's probably only a 50-50. That means it's probably only a left-right, which is a lot easier to block, and so it's a lot less scary and a lot less incentive for you to mash than if they're going like high-low throw, like waiting for you to land on the ground and left-right high-low throw, because then that's like 25-25-25 or even 20-20-20-20-20. So it's like, if they're just doing a meaty left-right, it's a pure 50-50, and your defense is a lot easier, or at least you have a lot more odds to be right, as opposed to if they start then going, okay, I'm going to hit you with the low, or I'm going to hit you with the overhead as you land, that's usually when their options aren't meaty, and your jump light punch mash, your helm breaker, your jump to medium punch, like all those things tend to work a lot better once you notice them going for that more. But that wasn't the case. You were getting hit because you were refusing to hold the 50-50. And so it's kind of like starting to recognize that sort of stuff and going, okay, they're keeping themselves risk averse, which is allowing me an easier time to guess. And then the second you notice they're starting to get a little cheeky with it and starting to go for lows and overheads, you're like, I'm not holding none of this nonsense. This ain't real. And so it's like two sides of that coin. Figuring out which option your opponent is doing and understanding whether violence or patience is the better play, like statistically better play. And again, part of that's also coming with game sense, but I kind of just want to introduce that concept to you because it's a very important habit to think about. Because you do have good air reversal options, but it doesn't matter how good they are if someone can just meaty left-right you. So I think that's the biggest things for you. And I mean, you know the deal. easiest advice for me to give you is just keep on playing. Keep on playing a little bit more, and I think a lot of things will feel more natural. And then so for Robo, for you, like Taterade was saying, and kind of like how I brought up with Xion, when you should ideally almost always be resetting those characters in the air. Especially, again, with the bar both of y'all had, there's such a high incentive to mash, you do not want to give them that opportunity. So you want to keep them in the air. You want to hit them with the meaty left, right. It just reduces their option, keeps you in control. And once you notice they really start respecting it and really start holding it, or if they don't have the meter to mash and keep it safe, that's when it's probably a bit better to start going for the grounded resets where you can high-low throw them sort of deal. But if you're ground resetting a Bella with 3 bar who has an Annie behind her, there's almost no reason for that Bella to just send it and then level 3 afterwards. So like keep that in mind. Keep the game state in mind and how that changes your opponent's decisions. Especially because how much you saw them mash throughout the entire set in general. So just don't deal with it. Just do options that beat a lot of their nonsense until you've thoroughly pacified them. So you got stuff like that. The both of you actually, I think, could do a little bit more with counter calling, especially in matchups like this, or Brass is the other big example, where it's like someone will instigate with LNL, and y'all weren't consistently calling LNL on your end to smack them and eliminate pressure behind it. So that's a good concept for both y'all to be thinking about a little bit more, keeping an eye on your opponent's assist calls and going, wait, Bella, go punch them. Because that's a really strong use case for that assist. Just flat out one of the best ways to use lock and load is just as a counter call assist. What else for Natty Boy? I'm just trying to think. Yeah, that's fair. For Robo, was there anything else major for you? I think the biggest other thing for you, Robo, was genuinely just like, dude, this character's dead, please spend the bar. Quite a few unnecessary resets, and some of them I think were just unfortunate drops, which it is what it is. But sometimes spending the bar is also the option to prevent drops, because it's like, this combo's looking a little sketchy, but what if I just spent 3 bar and guaranteed they were dead? So it's like you kind of have that thought process as well. And I forget which one of yous it was, but you have to hold your dash after Bella level 3. Yeah. I mean, that's kind of a mental thing, but in general, try to not fall into that mindset, Xion. Part of it is because people drop. And, like, I genuinely, because, like, I'm a Parasol player, so I have to time my stuff. You will hear me just, like, do a pillar input at a really common drop point in general, or I've played this game enough to kind of see when a combo's more unstable than it usually is, and I'm like, they're probably going to drop here, and I'll do it. And so you can kind of think about the same thing. So even though you can't actually act, being attentive to what's happening is really important, because it can sometimes give you those windows. As well as, some people are greedy. Some people are really greedy, and they want to reset you and save the bar. And don't just give them to that for free. Don't give them that for free. But yeah, so I think that's the most of what I have to say for y'all. If you have any questions, please ask. Otherwise, we'll get Jerboa and Oxygen in here. I don't know why I said it like that. I'm trying to pronounce it German, I guess. A little bit of phlegm in there. I mean, obviously part of it's like paying attention to the player, but part of it's just always be ready for someone to make that decision. Not necessarily expect it coming, but just kind of go, oh, this isn't a combo ending setup, this is a mix setup, and get ready to hold it then. And then Jerboa asked specifically to neutral and how to deal with push block, or better do their offense for dealing with push block. Yeah. Off counter, you don't shake. Oxygen, I think you might be able to EKG there. I don't know if I'd bet my life and soul on it though. I think it should be fine. It's just M Crescent in general is it's really short range for a neutral tool, so it can be a little sketchy if you're wrong and they jump over you. And happy birthday. Alright, Philly Amir, what are we doing? We're moving? We're giving up a ton of space oxygen. Oh, that's a punch. Turbo, you have a song. Any neutral in general is just kind of weird, Shion. It's, you don't have a lot of good, preemptive is the wrong word. Proactive tools, there we go. Oh! Is that the connection, or is that the... That stayed. We got 5 bar. Let's spend a little bit of it. Just even a monster. Monster, sir. Uh oh. Good night. Ba, 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 ba. Yeah, I would have liked to see 1, if not 2 monsters, and then go into mix. Just tag on a little bit of damage. There's no other way to kind of use that bar, for the most part. But yeah, any neutral in and of herself, you kind of want to find a way to cheat into your ranges, which is what Lock and Load will help you do, and then you can get like an IED jump medium punch and run your offense from there, because that's one of her best case scenarios in general. If you're close enough to cross them up, you've kind of already done your job, because you're also probably threatening low throw at that point as well. But finding a way to safely get into essentially your stand medium punch range, because that's around where jump medium punch is going to be really effective. Yeah, that's a really good thought process to have for that character, Shion. Oh, overextend hitting the assist. Just spend it, yeah. Do you tag back out? No, you get taunt. Okay. Wake up forward parry. I know y'all play each other a lot, so there's gonna be some Yomi, but oh, that's a big call-out option. Good chicken block. Oxygen, we're almost never using our assist to help us in neutral. Which is going to make this matchup pretty awkward, because Bam's Loki can box out Philia pretty well. What is going on? I'm not entirely sure what just happened to you, Gerbo. I can't really give advice on that. That's insane. First bait. I would love to see you force them to block with a 2 HP or 5 HP there first, and then you can react with the gun. Oh, no play. That's not what you wanted. That's not what you wanted either. Doo-doo. You really just went for it. Good patience. Kill her. I disagree. Spend it. Get her out. Yeah, I don't like that meter spend when it doesn't kill. Also don't like that drop very much. I assume that was a parry jab attempt again. Kind of just like how much you're going for that. The overall jab in general is good versus focus though, so. Insane. Pop. That's hard to confirm. Unfortunate. Patience. Don't really gotta risk much. Just keep using the gun. Hold the space and keep using the gun. Ooh, too far away for a tech throw. That's a 2 HP. That's insane, actually. Alright, Philia did us. And that hits? Jerboa, you can even just Fenrir that yourself. Oh, these drops oxygen. These. Oh, kill, please. Okay. These drops are getting tough. And I know you're asking about, like, neutral. So, I will have to tell you, like, as someone who has not messed with Philia, I can't give you really great in-depth stuff, and a lot of what you do is going to change from matchup to matchup because you are always the stubbier person. because you're the stubbier person, you have to play around your opponent's ranges a lot more than they have to play around yours. So a lot of your matchups will vary significantly more. So there's going to be a lot of like minor interactions I'm just straight up not going to understand, at least at that high of a level. But it does, like, your Ophelia kind of needs to bob and weave in. And right now, it feels kind of like some of the dancing you're doing is outside of a range where you're ever threatening. Some of it's in a really good spot, but some of it feels kind of like you're flailing a little bit, a lot of it. Kind of just spinning your arms. Okay, I'm switching these drums. You're just kind of spinning your arms and hoping they walk into it. What a trait. What? Insane. Kill the assist. Yeah, just keep hitting it. Okay. Why is it the second time you've gotten that trade in your favor? Can you take him out of the corner? Yes, you can. Kill. Get your taunt. Oh, you take positioning this time. Because I'm Dizzy's full, I think I would rather go for taunt and just let him Dizzy drain in this specific situation. But you don't really have to force the issue all that much here. Beat. Why is that assist a DP assist? Good attack. So I know you went for that instant overhead while you had cat heads active. You can just do that in neutral. Unfortunate. PBGC get hit. Oh, and you don't get over the symbols. Yeah. What are we working with? I haven't noticed anything major for dealing with push block. I'll try and focus on that for this last game, Gerbo, but it hasn't really been sticking out to me. Patience time? Movement? I'm not dead. Oh my god, they are. Really? Like, never mind. It's just barely killed. Oh, oxygen, that should have been a punish. You can jab there. Gerbo, if you really wanted the combo there, you could have done Brass SSJ into Trigger. The oxygen, I don't know if I'd recommend push blocking that assist like you did at the very end there. You're kind of just putting yourself in a ton of block stun. If you really wanted absolute guard there, I can kind of understand it, but overall I think not push blocking and just trying to act immediately out would have been a better option. But yeah, okay, so for Jerboa, I think I'm still gonna stand on, like, my biggest thing with you is your Philia feels like, not all the time, but sometimes she's still dashing outside, like dancing outside of her threat ranges. So you're not kind of like weaving in and out and forcing them to swing at air. It just feels kind of like you're doing your own thing and hoping someone runs into it sometimes. Again, sometimes. Other times, you're spacing things really well, and overall, I think the way you call beat extend is already doing a pretty good job of nullifying at least how Oxygen was trying to push block your pressure. So I did not see much of feedback to give for push block in that regard. Beyond that, a couple stray combo confirms you could have had with like Brass, SSJ, Gregor. But I think that was most of it. And I know that's not that much feedback. It's just like a lot of what I saw was overall pretty solid, and I don't understand Philly enough to like go into the deep dive there. But if you have any specific questions, please ask, and I'll jump back on that feedback. But for Oxygen, I think we were going for too many burst baits, especially because those burst baits we couldn't get much pressure off of afterwards. So Jerboa was being patient. They didn't bite on any single one of those burst baits, and it kind of just reset to neutral afterwards. And then you had to deal with beat extend again. So it's tough, because like I know you really don't want to get duo ratioed and mashed on and just watch a character explode, but your burst baits are pretty standard setups that are pretty seeable, so it's kind of like, if you know they're not biting on them, you kind of have to not represent them that much, because the downside is just too big. Beyond that, Oxygen drops were tough. You and I both know how to fix that. I'm not going to go into that anymore, but never fun to drop as much as that. So for the double, thought you just couldn't get. Yeah, it happens. It really does just happen. It's like you. Yeah, I feel you. Entirely, like the entirety of today, I just wasn't functioning for combos. So it really do be like that. Yeah, I know. It just wasn't. It wasn't. But it might be worth going into replays, see if you're consistently like hitting the button a little early before the quarter circle. See what the problem is, and regardless of what the problem is, just like spending a little bit of time trying to iron it out as much as possible. And sometimes it's just like, man, I don't got it today. I really don't got it today, and it's simple as so. But I gotta at least bring it up. I feel your pain 100%. Do not get me wrong on that. What else? The double looked like it was trying to emulate someone else without fully understanding why they do the things they do. And by that I mean mostly the like JP jail where you're pressing buttons and then doing a gun afterwards. it felt like you're kind of going through the motions because you've seen it work for someone else without understanding the full intent behind it. You don't always need to be meaty. Sometimes you need to be reactive, and that's where 2 HP is really, really effective. Especially versus like Philia. If you get them really antsy and you notice them jumping, and the second you see that air dash, you can kind of just go, okay, I'm going to press 2 HP, and there's literally nothing they can do that wins here. And if your 2 HP whiffs, lo and behold, you still press H-gun, you reel back, and if they try and whiff punish your 2 HP, they still die, because double gets to have that for some reason. So it's like, you've got like that in the tank, and so it's not just put out big button, shoot gun, it's pay attention to their movement habits, try and control where they're going, condition them to go into certain areas, and then you can use your really strong reactive tools to shut it down after the fact. And assists help a ton with that game plan. Oftentimes we saw the double when she was anchor, so we didn't get to see how your assist usage would facilitate that. So I can't really comment in that regard. But like, I think playing double with that thought process in mind will help. And if it really does help, I mean, you know the deal. Like, go watch a JP set and kind of like really try and piece together why is he pressing, what he does, where he does, when he does. Or even better, just like try and analyze it, make that guess, make those educated guesses, and then shoot JP a message being like, am I correct in assuming you did this here for this reason? And he will probably get back to you and go, yeah, that's probably one of the reasons, and then like it also covers this, and this. And so it can kind of like start getting you understanding the reasons behind the choices they make. Because it felt sometimes like you were going through the motions. Because Double overall is a pretty simple character, but there is unfortunately still a lot of nuance behind why they do what they do. And so it's like, as much as it's like a basic character, it's still, they have to be good at Skullgirls and they have to be a good pilot to really understand what they're doing, because placing those tools really well where they're meant to go makes a Double infuriating to play against. And that's why JP tilts everyone, because just door stuck, what do? Well, I mean, I'm in this corner forever. And so it was, the Valentine, yeah, it was just weird. It was I don't think, like, I wanted to make some comments about neutral, but I felt like your Valentine was constantly winning the neutral, and then again you just did too many burst baits, and I think that's what the biggest problem was there, because then you just gave them so many more interactions, and when a duo player with a band in the back hits you, they have to hit you so much less than you have to hit the duo player. So it's, I feel like that was the like biggest issue, is just like they were getting so much more off their hits than you. Your neutral was not inherently worse than theirs, they just locked down when they got the advantage. And again, part of that's just the inherent nature of the ratios y'all were playing. But yeah, besides that, I think the biggest thing besides that oxygen is just in general, I felt like you were a little too hesitant to use your assist. I understand you don't want to call it into beat extend, but sometimes that needs to be the job, because you either call it to force the beat extend and then you can play point v point for a bit, or you wait for the Philia to approach you on her terms, and then she calls beat extend in your face. You don't have a counter call assist to call back, and you're just holding that pressure. And if you get out, chef's kiss, like, you're in a really good spot. You can now use your assist to force your advantage, but it seemed like that wasn't the game plan. So you're just hesitant to use it no matter what. And so a little bit more will also help your neutral for all of your characters. Because turns out, pressuring them in some way, shape, or form without putting your point at risk is pretty good. Pretty solid. So I think that would be my final tidbit, is just try and experiment with using your assists more. Yeah, and it's definitely good to not want that to be your only game plan, but I think you're at a point where you know how to play neutral without it. So you can start using it to facilitate the neutral you already know. That's kind of like my thought process about assists, because I'm a solo player. I'm so not used to using assists. But now I'm kind of like starting to just go, okay, there's a hole in my game plan here. What if I just called Copter? Thank you, Copter. I love a big wall in front of me. My mistakes are invalidated. And so it's like you can kind of play, if you want to be the slow, reactive, neutral player, you can go, oh, I messed up. Now I use my assist to bail. And obviously you don't want to rely on that, but you're using it reactively with intent as opposed to I'm autopiloting into my assist and dying for it, if that makes sense. So I'd kind of lean a little bit more in that regard. But I think that about wraps up most of what I have off the top of my head for the two of y'all. And again, please keep asking questions if you still got them. No, I think that was a really good set. You were a really good match for them, so I was happy you popped in and asked. All right, if that's the case, I'll probably be getting up the video and seeing if there's anyone to throw y'all to. But before I do that, real quick rundown. No events tomorrow. Hunter's Hustle still on hiatus. Monday Night Masters, 8 p.m. EST, open bracket. You can ask in here, and then anytime after the stream is done, if you still have other questions, please just ask me there. Just get in touch with me some way, shape, or form, and I'll answer anything you got. But now it still works. But quickly wrapping up the rest of the schedule stuff. Next Wednesday, Be Great. Is that the prize pool, Be Great? No. Next Wednesday, Be Great, 8 p.m. EST. Open bracket. Bunch of killers. Come have fun. Next Thursday, Mixed Masters. Open bracket filled with killers. Go have fun. We will also be hosting a VOD review, hopefully, as long as... I know we didn't this week because our schedules got... got doomed. But that will be next week. Hosted at an undetermined time as of right now. Next Saturday, Raw Tag Rumble, 1 p.m. EST. And then we're back here again. Get Great next week, Saturday, 7 p.m. EST. It will be our lab stream. We will not be hosting matches and giving advice. We'll be answering lab questions, as well as if you stop by the stream and you have any specific lab questions, we will prioritize those, getting those answered. Third for neutral. Beamworks, Bomberworks, Brassworks, L-Shot would be solid with that team as well. And obviously not as good of a hold down the neutral, but it can get the job done. If you really wanted to be silly, you could run Peacock with either L George or H Stand Heavy Punch. Umbi 6 HP wouldn't necessarily be bad either, but it still covers a lot of the ranges Lock and Load would, so it's kind of double dipping there. I think those would be my biggest suggestions off the top of my head. If you wanted to spice it up, you could do like Dahlia M shot, but that's cooking a bit. M or H shot. I mean, Annie Copter Brass would be, you can use LNO like that. Assists are really good to react or call out your opponent's push block habits, because you can use the assist to be the first thing that hits them after they would go PBGC. So if they mash, you keep yourself safe. You don't extend yourself. And if they don't mash, they're forced to block that, and then you try and high-low them immediately afterwards. And lock and load is really good because it's armor, so it can just outright beat certain mashes, so you don't even need to wait to see them block it. You can just go behind it because they can't break the armor before it would hit them. Like, for example, Parasol Pillar. So, yeah. That is a really good use case for lock and load. Obviously, exactly how you do it in which specific matchups will cause it to be real or fake, but that's so much context to get into for, like, a baseline question. So, like, general rule of thumb, it's good, but some teams will have tools like Alpha Counter, SSJ, etc. that can throw a wrench in your works. Like, it's just kind of... It's the unfortunate part of team games is, like, general habit good, asterisk, except for XYZ, ABC, and there's just so many situations in this game. But a lot of rambling to say TLDR, yes, very good habit to get in to work into your system. Alright. If that's all, I'll be getting the video up. Appreciate y'all for showing up. If y'all have any further questions, please just shoot me a message on the Discord. Have a good night, y'all.
And my spectator.
That's okay.
Oh, nice! Ooh!
Oh, we avoided it. Nice.
Oh, let me see it.
Hey,
Here's the combo.
you finished this. They died.
That's somewhat of a combo, yeah.
Hey, they're dead.
We're missing a few more parts to it, but
Hey,
Yeah.
we got Bombination.
It's like we have some bombos, but like our knowledge of the mechanics of the game are not exactly there just yet.